Greetings gamers, welcome to part number 13 of my playthrough Pokemon Colosseum, all Shadow Pokemon. Time to go into this interesting building here. It appears my grandchild recently joined something called the Kids Grid. Since then I got this feeling that parts have been slowly disappearing from the shop. When the Under used to be a mining town, the junk shop's owner used to be the train driver. But where is this railway supposed to be in the Under? I've never seen it.
Oh, sheesh. What should I do? I have to make a delivery, but I'm still not done cleaning. Hey, wait, wow. Aren't you Gamerman and Sarina? Huh? How do you know who we are? I thought so. This makes things easy. Please, can I get you two to deliver this part to Net's house?
Gamerman obtained the power-up part.
But wait. Just tell Net that it's from Purr. He'll tell you the details. Net's house is the one with the big rotating antenna dish. You'll know which one it is as soon as you see it.
Alright, time to go visit a house. And yeah, you have to trek all the way through this part of the town. It's like there's a dungeon in the midst of the town. Venus, what is your situation?
Well, a couple of mice appear to be running loose, Nascour, but it's nothing to worry about. We'll catch them right away. Pulverize and mash them up.
Fine. The priority is to distribute Shadow Pokemon, don't forget. As for you, Ein, hurry, complete the Shadow Pokemon's development as soon as possible. Your trust in me, your trust will not be misplaced, Master Nascour. Already sufficient Shadow Pokemon battle data has been gathered from our missions. My masterpiece, the most powerful Shadow Pokemon in history, shall soon be ready. Good. I will be waiting for good news. That is all. Now, it is time we return to the lab and put on the finishing touches. Come, back to the lab. Yes, sir. Very interesting things are going on. Definitely do declare. Alright, so... Oh, look. I actually got her stuck. Yeah, so this is the thing with Rui, is that you can actually have her completely stuck on an object. Now, she will just reappear with me once I leave, even if I leave without her. But it is an interesting little quirk you can do. You can actually get her stuck into some very funny situations, and then she's basically like incapable of going anywhere or doing anything in whole areas.
The antenna isn't broken. Venus must be interfering with our signal. You brought me the power-up part from Purr? Great, I was waiting for that. Huh? Are you the Gamerman and Sarina? Oh wow, this is too awesome. Come on, you have to get inside. Quick, quick. Meg, Net, you won't believe who just dropped in for a visit. We've got some shocking company. Shocking company? Try not to be too shocked when you hear it. It's Gamerman and Sarina. No, really? Bit, is that true? Is that Gamerman really here? See for yourself.
Doesn't look like there's anything rummageable in here. Very interesting house, though.
This is like a dream come true, Gamerman Sarina. I'm so glad to meet you. I'm Meg. The Kids Grid is bringing together kids from faraway towns. Hi, I'm Net. Sek and Pyrite has told me about what you're been doing so far.
Gamerman handed the power-up part to Net.
Oh, this is from Purr. Great. This is all that I needed to get the kids' grid back up and running again. I better explain. A little while ago, we somehow lost access to the kids' grid. We think it's caused by a jamming signal that's interfering with the kids' grid. It's probably Venus's doing. But this power-up part you delivered will let me boost up our equipment. When we get the kids' grid back up, I'll try to hack their computers for useful data.
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, Gamerman, wait, please. May I have your PDA number? We'll contact you just as soon as we discover anything. Thank you. We'll do our best to gather useful information for you.
Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. The story is going by interestingly. The spy! We spotted the spy! Okay. What is going on here? Gah! Let me go! Let me go!
Shut up. It's hopeless. Quit struggling. Now you be a good boy. Lie still. Who might you be? If you're a tourist, you're getting in our way. Go on, scram. Hold on, you two. You're not from around these parts, are you now? I get it. You came to rescue your pal here. You two are spies, too.
Cypher Peon Cloak would like to battle. Coming across an interestingly cool name with Ledian and Volbeat. Unfortunately, the cool stopped there. You might have fully evolved Pokemon, but they're not exactly great. I'm not sure if anybody ever has run and played Pokemon with a Ledian unironically. It just seems like such... I don't even understand what was the point of making that Pokemon. Honestly, what is the point of this Pokemon? Doesn't have special attack or physical attack for beans, and the physical attack is far worse than the special, yet most of its moves are physical moves because it's supposed to be the superhero Pokemon? Superhero is kind of a bit of a stretch. And the only thing it has to its name is a bunch of special defense. Man, you just have to sometimes ask yourself, what in the world was Game Freak thinking when they designed certain Pokemon back in the old days? I mean, even to nowadays, like most Pokemon look like absolute buffoons, or have names that are so ridiculously out there, it just makes no sense. Like you've got things like Fluttermane and Brute Bonnet. How are those Pokemon names? Can we please explain? Are people in are people in Game Freak just running out of ideas at this point? Double Team. I could end up missing because of that. Both of them are down to yellow health, which is nice. Rock Throw. So Rock Throw isn't going to be great. It's only going to be 75 base power with same type attack bonus, which, you know, it's just not great. It's honestly not great. I would far and away much rather have Rock Slide. But I think on terms of like realistic understanding, Rock Throw is almost as powerful as Rock Slide is if you're taking into account the fact that Rock Slide is always going to hit both enemies. Whereas in this game, it's, you know, Rock Throw is only going to hit one enemy. I would much prefer to have Rock Slide regardless, because Rock Slide is just such a good move. Especially in
this generation where it has a 30% chance to flinch. I don't think it had that in the first or second generation. And if it did have it in the second generation, I couldn't be the authority on that. But it does have it in the third generation, and it's such a good move. 30% chance to flinch is awesome. Now, of course, you're not really going to see that on a Pokemon as slow as Golem, so it's not the biggest of deals. It's actually more important functionally on a Pokemon like Tyranitar, who is actually somewhat speedy for a rock type. This spy's actually strong. Yep, I will take your buddy. Don't be too hasty about relaxing. I'm up next. Cypher Peon Dagger would like to battle. Cloak and Dagger. Probably the coolest two Cypher Peons in this entire game. Very cool in my humble opinion. Cloak and Dagger. And with an area dose and a, what is that, gloom? So, rock throw on you. I'm going to switch out Swampert into Typhlosion. Just because that gloom is not really going down with either of my two Pokemon. Of course, I do have Blizzard, which does mean that I could use that to attack him. I would rather just use Flame Wheel. Razor Leaf avoided the attack. That's actually kind of really funny. So both of my Pokemon on the team right now are quad weak. Well, that were before I switched Swampert out. They're both quad weak to something like Razor Leaf, which would actually do quite a significant amount of damage to them. Both, even if it is reduced by 25% because it's coming off of same type attack bonus and it's quad effective. So realistically, it means it's just triple effective in that instance. It would still be enough that both of them would probably be close to fainting from Razor Leaf. I actually really like Razor Leaf. I just wish that the moves like it that have an increased critical chance had a higher than just 12.5% chance to critical. It would be better, in my humble opinion, if they were like 50% critical moves. Some people would think that it's a bit much. I don't. When you have something like 55 base power, it's got to have some kind of reasonable use for it, because Razor Leaf isn't even an early game move with all things considered. It's like a mid game move. And I think it could have that buff. I think all of them could, or that have around that kind of level of base power, at least. Like 60 or below, and they have the increased critical chance. How could we lose, the both of us? Plus, Razor Leaf also has a 5% chance of missing. We're out of our league against this guy. Yes, you are. The door is locked. I don't remember how you go about unlocking this door. It's possible that it's something you can't do until later. Gamerman, it's me, Silva, from Dukings. I discovered that they were bringing Shadow Pokemon to Pyrite from here. That's as far as I got when they caught me like this. But I did manage to filch this from them. Here you go. R-Disc. Nice. I think it's an item that's useful only down here in the Under. That is absolutely true. Items. Yeah, F-Disc, R-Disc. I'm going to use the F-Disc first and then the R-Disc just to show them off. And you have to go to this little device here. This is basically this game's replacement for HMs. Is just this spot here. You basically get a new disc, and then you can use the UFO right here to fly across to different locations. You need the L disc, the R disc, the up disc, and the forward disc.
in order to get across most of the places that it allows. Woof, 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 woof. Well, old man, I can't understand what you're saying here. This is my favorite shop in all of the Ore region. Welcome to my herb shop. Here you'll find the things impressive, or inexpensive, but very effective. Alright, so energy powder is basically like a better super potion. Energy root is a better hyper potion, and then you have like a better full restore. And this is supposed to revive a fainted Pokemon and give them max health. Revives only give half of your health, not max health when you revive. I'm going to buy 3 of them just because it would be nice to have them right now. I don't remember if this is the game in which revival herbs only do what revives do, and it's very possible that that's the case. If it's the case, I'm not going to be buying any more of these. I'll just buy regular revives. But for the time being, I do believe they are basically an upgrade to revives, basically a max potion and a revive at the same time. And if that's the case, then it's worth it. If I discover that it's not, then I would strongly recommend foregoing this. But heal powder and energy root are absolutely worth the value. Energy root is 400 less than the hyper potion, which does the exact same thing. And heal powder is, what, 150 less than full heal? So both of them are good uses. Now I will give you a warning, these will lower friendship. So if you're using return, you don't want to use these. Now if you had a Pokemon with frustration, then these are actually fantastic. Frustration is a move that I find to be very frustrating, because even if you are trying your absolute hardest to make sure your Pokemon stays at poor friendship value, it's very likely you're going to come across the instances where you're just like shy of the best base power that it has, which is 102. And that's because your Pokemon get friendship with you pretty darn quick. So I'm going to buy some energy root. 10 should be fine. Oh, I have no room for my purchase. I forgot about this. So Pokemon Colosseum, this is one thing that needs to be addressed if you are going to have a Pokemon game in which... Oh, you know what? I need to go back across. And I think I have to go insert a disc again. Yeah. What a shame. This is the problem with the UFO machine. If Pokemon Colosseum was to receive a remaster, there's a lot of quality of life improvements that need to occur, right? And one of those things is your bag being limited. Because back until, what was it, Gen 4 or 5? You had a limited size in your bag for what your bag could hold. Item storage. Deposit items. Alright, so I'm going to deposit the Macho Brace, the Experience Share, the White Herb. I think I could just sell some of these. I could just deposit the Protein, the Carbos, and the Zinc, and the Iron, for the time being. And I'm going to just go and sell a bunch of this stuff. I guess, yeah, these can be deposited as well, because these count towards the space too. And, of course, I don't really need anything like the Personberry at this current moment. Eventually, I'll have a lot more room than I do, because the fact of the matter is that I am going to only be buying those healing items. You can come to this town anytime you want without having to go down the elevator, and I'm going to show that momentarily. I haven't been in a Colosseum battle yet, but I'm always interested in the prizes they give out. It thrills me even thinking about what new Shadow Pokemon I'd see next.
How do you like that? They openly give out Shadow Pokemon in this town?
Yes, in the Colosseum Challenge, apparently. Excuse me, fella. This talk of spies loose in the Under, is it true? Yes. Ah, but have no fear. My Makuhita here will clean up this spy problem. Nothing in here. Huh? Are you looking for an autograph from me? The challenge champ? Yeah, so this door is not accessible on this side, but you can open it from the other side. Do be mindful that when you do actually get to this other side, which isn't going to be long from now, you don't want to go through this door because this door is a one-way. When it shuts behind you, you have to go all the way around again. Looks familiar over here though, doesn't it? And right over here, this elevator is not just for show. It is absolutely a legitimate thing you want to take. And the reason why this is because you can just leave the Under, and now it is a part of the map. A wholly lawless underground town that is ruled by the criminal syndicate Cypher. This town is impossible to get to on your map without going through this elevator. I remember the first several times I played this game, I had no idea this elevator was a thing. I literally thought that it was just a decoration. And there's nothing to tell you that it is otherwise. But I thought I would make sure that you knew. Now, I can go ahead and sell and buy stuff. Okay, sell. So I think I'm going to sell all of this, the antidotes, burn heal, paralyze heal. I didn't buy this stuff, so it's not like I am losing money on it. And now I can buy energy powders. I'm gonna buy 10 particularly, and 5 heal powders. So it seems like I'm being a little bit excessive here. Basically, the amount of items that I currently have will carry me through most of the rest of the game. Okay, full restore, full heal. And that should be good. I have a lot of healing items, and these are very necessary. Whenever I do want more healing items, like I said, I'm going to come back here for this. Revival Herb, I'm definitely going to be trying out. If it's not what I think it is, then of course I'm just going to have to buy revives. Luckily, this town also sells revives in the other shop, which is pretty darn cool. I think... I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea to try the Under Colosseum challenge. Alright, talk to the receptionist. Welcome to the Under Colosseum. A knockout challenge just ended a short while ago. I will start registering trainers for the next knockout challenge just as soon as Lady Venus finishes giving prizes to the winner. Okay, so I don't have to worry about whether making that choice is a good decision at this current time. It is time to use the R disc. Obviously, I'm not necessarily totally spoiling things by telling you that there's an L disc, and I already did mention that there's an up disc or U disc for the time flute. The R disc is very important. You only have to go this way once as long as you are careful. I could potentially have to grind in order to beat this next upcoming fight. If that's the case, obviously I will be basically just going back and going through Mount Battle to do so, and then getting my Pokemon probably up to around level 41 in order to deal with who I'm about to fight, because who I'm about to fight is exceptionally powerful. There are no significant trainers between Dakeem and this next Cypher admin, yet she is several levels higher than him. Okay, folks, we're ready to go on the air. Oh, 3 rare candies. Very nice. That will definitely help with the grind, if need be. I believe the game gives you those specifically because she is kind of rough. Lady Venus is especially confident of her right profile.
Testing, testing. The rain in the Under is accompanied by thunder. Testing.
Hey, you there. Don't wander around the set. I'll do what I please, buddy. Save and edit that out. All right.
You two, you're holding up the film shoot. We're about to begin filming. Wait, who are you? Ah, I recognize those faces. Those faces were on the blacklist from headquarters. How did you find us? But that's not important now. I'll squash you myself and collect a reward from Master Nascour.
I mean, you can try to collect a reward from Master Nascour, Cypher Admin Venus. Del Caddy and Steelix. Yeah, level 45s. I think, I'm going to try this, but I honestly think that it might be for the best to just come back. I don't necessarily want to get my Pokemon up to level 45s, though, because after you fight her, you go back down to around, like, level 38 to 40 in enemy. And I remember when I first played this, I was just so utterly confused as to why these Pokemon are as powerful as they are. Why don't you go ahead and use Earthquake here, which is unfortunate, but I think what I'm going to do is also switch out to maybe Gligar. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, the Gligar is a male also. So what's unfortunate about this is what this means is that oh gosh, that's so much damage. Water Pulse from non-stab did that much damage. Super effective. So Muddy Water was actually a really good idea for Steelix. I just thought Gligar would be better for like the Earthquake spam of things. And of course, Gligar is faster because Gligar is a beast of speed. Water Pulse, probably going for Golem again. Yep. Golem is down for the count. I mean, he did significant damage to two of her Pokemon, but not happy about him fainting already. Swampert, jump in the battle, please. Shadow Rush. Yeah, so I actually thought about using her Steelix on my team because I think a Steelix would be fun. Especially Steel Ground is just a very fun type. But I decided not to just because, I don't know. I think Steelix has pretty much no good moves to speak of. And I was not really fond of the idea of having a Pokemon that's basically just a wall and doesn't really have anything to contribute other than being a wall. And it's very well true. That's pretty much definitely the case, is that he doesn't really have anything. I think he can learn Earthquake by TM, but that's it. And you only get one Earthquake TM. I will not be using it on any one of my team members here. Though there is one I think would be a great beneficiary of it, and that is Dusclops, so that he could also spam Earthquake on the team. Most of the rest of my Pokemon are going to have the ability to learn Earthquake by level up, so, or already have it in the case of good old Golem. Vileplume. So, unfortunately, one thing that would be actually pretty fantastic right here is if I had... Ah, man. If I had Gligar Purified, he would have Aerial Ace. Shadow Rush. critical hit, and it only did that much damage. Gloom is kind of bulky. Alright, where's that going? Ah, Swampert. No. That is so saddening. Alright, Wheezing. I think I will send you out. Giga Drain. It's not very effective, friend. Wheezing is, after all, a poison type and resists the grass type. Unfortunately, he's not going to really be super effective against Vileplume here. Sludge. It's just going to be neutral damage. I think it's still better than nothing, but I need to take care. See, this is fine. Actually, this is perfectly fine. Ah, Psychic. I was not at all expecting him to have Psychic. That's unfortunate. And another Giga Drain. On Gligar. So Gligar has the speed that it's not really the biggest of deals that he's on low health right now. Especially because he has Shadow Rush, crits in Hyper Mode, which will be nice. But the fact that I didn't KO that Vileplume there, that's a bit abysmal. Quite unfortunate as well. 862 experience points. Suicune. Ah, Shadow Pokemon indeed. Yeah, and Gligar is fainted. What an abysmal shame. I really do think this is going to have to be a reset. Still going to try. I do still have Dusclops, an incredibly bulky Pokemon, and I believe she only has Vileplume and Suicune left. So, Sunny Day and probably Curse. Alright, so Surf is going to be nerfed by quite a bit of damage here because it's hitting both my Pokemon. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to do next to nothing to Dusclops. And taking out Vileplume would be super nice right now. I will be able to do that next turn, hopefully. And Dusclops is fainted, but Suicune is now cursed. So in 4 turns, Suicune just loses. I might still have this in the bag, which would be kind of insane. Absolutely insane. So I can stall here a little bit. Oh, come on. Stun Spore? Okay, I dug a hole. That's perfect. I think... just not great. Affected by Curse. Suicune has 2 more turns left. Vileplume used Shadow Rush. I forgot. Vileplume has Chlorophyll. And then the burn will take out Vileplume this turn, which is very nice indeed. The only problem is this means that Surf no longer has its nerf due to the fact that... Oh, very nice, level 39. Due to the fact that Suicune is only fighting 1 Pokemon here. So I kind of want to just use a full restore here. I don't really want to just stall out Pokemon battles or use items in every single battle to just trivialize things. That was so saddening. Stun Spore. Had I not done Sunny Day there, Now, I mean, Typhlosion probably would have fainted or been close to it regardless. So this is a tough choice, a very tough choice, because if I don't use an item here, I mean, Surf, as long as it's not a crit, it shouldn't knock out Typhlosion. I didn't think so. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Everything went well. Suicune will faint this turn due to Dusclops' curse. Already coming into clutch right there. Awesome. I cannot believe I just won against her level 45 Pokemon, including and especially Suicune, with a Fire-type Pokemon no less.
I'm so glad that didn't go out live on the air. Oh no, Lady Venus was knocked down.
Varg, run away!
How dare you? How could I get bested by a mere boy? Remember this, I'll get you back for this.
Alright. Here we found an Einfile. Einfile F, I'll read it. Final report. Some interesting discoveries were made about the purification process. There are several ways to cause the opening of the heart's door, and the resulting effects appear to differ with the original nature of the Pokemon. Also, as the purification process advances, the Shadow Pokemon regains its moves in its original nature. When the purification process is complete, the Pokemon regains all the experience points it has accumulated, perhaps even enough to level up. By effectively using these features, it may be possible to create even more powerful Shadow Pokemon. And TM45, which is Attract. Funnily enough, you did not get to see Venus's strategy, which is very strange because she had the Pokemon to perform this strategy. I only have one female. And the reason why is because she uses Attract. Now, it could be that it is her second fight, her rebattle, that she has a more reasonable bent towards using Attract, but I think she's supposed to in her first battle as well. Like I said, if I can find another Duskull who is a female, or even a Weezing, I will gladly do so, because I haven't done anything with either of them that would be significant. I gave Thunder to Weezing, but I could always just rebuy Thunder. So I will keep a lookout for that. However, this is the time of that episode where I have to bid you all a farewell. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.